Hello students. Last period we are discussing the aggregate related national income. Regarding this first concepts we have already discussed economic territory, and today we will discuss that another concept, that is concept of residents. Concept of residents. We have already known the word citizen. Note that citizen and resident are two different terms. Citizen and residents are two different terms. That does not mean that a citizen is not a resident and a resident is not a citizen. A person can be a citizen as well as a resident, but it is not necessary that a citizen of a country is necessarily the resident of that country. Please note it. A person can be a citizen as well as a resident. A person can be a citizen as well as a resident, but it is not necessary that a citizen of a country is necessarily the resident of that country. Again I repeat, a person can be citizen as well as as resident, but it is not necessary that a citizen of a country is necessarily the resident of that country. A person can be a citizen of one country and at the same time he may be a resident of another country. For example, an NRI. NRI means here that non-resident of Indian or non-resident Indian. An NRI is citizen of India but a resident of the country in which he lives. As an NRI is a citizen of India but a resident of the country in which he lives. Citizenship is basically legal concept based on the place of birth of the person or some legal provisions allowing a person to become a citizen. It is a legal concept. On the other hand, residentship is basically an economic concept based on the basic economic activities performed by a person. Again I repeat, citizenship is a legal concept. It depends that country's legal concept based on specially the place of birth of the person, as well as, or you may say that there may be some legal provisions of that country, then that country will allow that person to become a citizen. But on the other hand, residentship is basically an economic concept based on the basic economic activities performed by a person. We have already discussed the economic activities, so I don't want to explain more here that economic activities. Now my question is that what is resident, or what do you mean by resident? So many persons have given that definitions, among all them one, a resident, whether a person or an institution, whether a person or an institution, is one whose center of economic interest, most important, center of economic interest lies in the economic territory of the country in which where he lives. Most important word in this definition, that center of economic interest. Center of economic interest. What do you mean by center of economic interest, or what it implies? It implies mainly two things. First point, that implication is that the resident lives or is located within the economic territory. The center of economic interest implies two things. One is that resident lives or is located within the economic territory, and the resident, number two, the resident carries out the basic economic activities of earning and spending and accumulation of wealth from that locations. It is concerned with by whom. So production activities of the residents of an economy is also national product or that national income. Production activity of the resident of an economy is also national product or the national income. Later on, we will go through the detail about the domestic product and the national product and GNP and NNP, because national product, the examples of that GNP and NNP. So we will discuss later on the difference between domestic product and national products. Domestic product and national products. Domestic products and national products we'll discuss in the next